This is Leisha Holmes, and I'm your host on the Recruiters Recruitment Podcast. And I am so excited for us all to get to know today my next guest, somebody that I have been stalking, following. I don't know what the right technical term is for an online media fan. Somebody that I've been following anyway on LinkedIn and on Instagram for I think about 2 years, something like that. And we've had loads of exchanges. I think that what this person is doing is absolutely phenomenal because on his own, he's transforming busy, overstretched, unhealthy professionals into happy, healthy, energized ones. And that's something that I'm a huge champion of. So I'd like to welcome to our channel today, Ian Worthington, who is otherwise known as GymWolfPT. Welcome to you today, Ian. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks, Leisha. I'm really excited to be on your show, and yeah, it's great to talk to you. Like I say, we've been connected on LinkedIn for many years, so to actually have a chat is brilliant.
It seems a bit, we were saying, and I'm sure this resonates with loads of people, when you finally meet somebody, whether it's virtually or in real life, that you've got to know through social media, it's almost a bit like, whoa, this is like the real person. But one day, we actually don't live very far from each other. We've just worked out. You're in Preston, I'm in Bury. And maybe one day our paths will actually cross. And people are always a bit staggered because I'm actually quite short. People think I'm really tall, but I'm only 5'3".
Right.
I sound louder. I sound taller.
I'm 7 foot. Not.
Oh no, I see some of the photos you share, so I know you're not 7 foot tall.
No,
so
I'm not.
I mean, you are really prominent on LinkedIn, and that's potentially, that's where most of our followers are. But we do share this on Instagram and on TikTok and places like that. But for those who are not yet familiar with you, give us an overview of who you are and what you do.
So I'm Ian Worthington, the owner and coach and founder of GymWolfPT, which is an online personal training platform. And what that is I have my own client website and app where it allows me to coach people, not just across the UK, but around the world. So I'm coaching at the moment across 5 continents. Not at this moment, but
not at this moment.
Yeah, so it allows me to work with different people with different goals, and our approach is, I believe, very unique in that a lot of people talk about tailoring it, but we really do tailoring. We really dig down into where the person is, where they want to get to, what resources in terms of, are they a gym member, are they not, everything we look into, and then create a program that works for them, and then have them review it, and then change if we need be, and monitor and track it all the way. So that's what we do. We've done it for a number of years, and I think we're pretty good at it.
And then prior to that, you were in quality and production, is that right, in manufacturing?
Yeah. My background is, I'm getting old now. I'm 47, so although I've been into fitness myself, training since I did a lot of sport at school, which naturally followed on to go into the gym. I've never missed more than 3 weeks in my entire life since I was 16 doing training. My background was corporate, so I was in a company for 23 years. Start my way up, started at the bottom, become quality assurance manager, become production manager for a while. So yeah, I've seen a different side of life. I've not just been in fitness like a lot of people get into it at a young age. Personal trainers think it's the be all, and people don't have other challenges in life. But I've seen that. I've been a manager. I've worked with people, and but fitness has always been my passion, and
that's been the golden thread all the way through. And I obviously I knew that already because I'd asked you that offline, but I think it's important just to contextualize that for you, our listener, because what I want for you from this show is for you to walk away and learn something every week, and that's basically the purpose of the podcast. It's about making a better you, and sometimes I want that to be not about recruitment. I want it to be about your holistic approach to life. And the reason that I think Ian and GymWolf, I don't know how you prefer to be known, GymWolf, is that we have to look after our health first and foremost, because without health we have nothing. And I think that there are so many, stereotypes of what we as recruiters are, which is sedentary, very stressful. It is a very stressful job, contextually, not compared to some jobs, but it is a very mentally stressful job. It is a very long day, all day, every day. That's what we do. And, it's a very competitive job to do. I think that having been in the sector myself for 25 years, I'm actually a little bit older than you. So there you go. You're not old. I only discovered fitness literally in my mid-40s when I actually coincidentally gave up drinking. So I'm almost the opposite to you in the fact that I avoided every kind of sport. I avoided ever moving my body, ever getting sweaty, ever getting hot and bothered, because I used to think, why would I need to? And it's only as I've become older and maybe appreciated why well-being and health is the absolutely most important thing in your life. You know, as friends, unfortunately, have suffered ill health. You know, you watch people that, you know, that your peer group go through mental and physical health challenges. You think, actually, if I don't get this bit right, nothing else actually matters. And I think for me, as the host of this show, I want everybody to improve their position in life, not just as a recruiter. So that's why I've invited Ian on today. And I have genuinely followed you, and I love everything that you follow. I mean, I follow loads of fitness coaches, I follow loads of health professionals, but I think because you are really prominent on LinkedIn, particularly, that's why I wanted to invite you on here today. So how did you discover that, you know, I'm actually going to change this slightly to what we maybe discussed offline, in that, why do you think having vitality in life is an important thing for people to have? Like, how did you discover yours, and then why is it important from your perspective?
Yeah, so in my own personal perspective, like I say, I found it at an early age, and that's not to make out, wow, he's perfect. You know, I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes. You mean, I've done a lot of things that aren't healthy, whatever. But from an early age, I found that sport, rather than taking energy and fitness, rather than, a lot of people say, well, I'm tired and stressed already, why adding something else would that help? It generates energy. It generates, it doesn't take it away. Yes, the first time you do it's hard, but once you get into that routine, and I use it, I mean, it's my fuel. I train early mornings, and I know some people can't or don't want to train early mornings, so that's fine. But I use it as like a dynamo. It winds me up, gets me ready for the day. And the days I don't train, I don't feel as good. No. And I found that from an early age, and that really has carried through to me to the. Am I obsessed? Probably. Like I say, I'm in over 30 years.
The thing is, it's addictive, and I'm saying this now. What I love is that you and I are coming at it from slightly different angles, and that you've always had it in your life, whereas I've only joined the gym this year. At 49 years of age, I've joined the gym, and you know, endorphins are addictive. Dopamine hits are addictive, which is why alcohol's a problem, cigarettes are a problem, drugs are a problem. But the good dopamine you get from moving your body and actually doing cardio or HIIT, whatever, running, swimming, whatever your exercise is literally addictive.
It is. Unfortunately, the things that you mentioned, like alcohol, that they give the hit straight away and the pain comes after. Exercise is usually the other way around. It comes straight away, and then after you just go, wow, I don't feel so great.
I mean, look, I'm not here to be that 5 a.m. club kind of protagonist, but I am. That is me. My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I do crawl out of bed. I hate going at this time of year. We're recording this in autumn. It's bloody hard work. It takes discipline, and I'm sure we're going to talk about discipline. To do that, I turn on my Lumiere light, best purchase ever. If you live in the UK, get a Lumiere light. They're about 60 quid. It's like bright sunshine the second you wake up, right? So you instantly wake up.
My wife won't let me have one of them because
honestly, well, tell her they're really good for putting your makeup on. To be honest with you, they give really good light. And I mean, it's not a timed one. I just turn it on when I've literally, you know, got myself out of bed. But you know what? It gives you your whole day by working out first thing. It's done. You've done your exercise. You've energized your body. And I think I just want to pick up on something that you said, this kind of counterintuitive, oh, I'm knackered, you know, I've got kids, I've got, you know, I'm a caregiver, whatever it might be, or I've got to commute 2 hours to work. I haven't got time. Well, you can always make time, and you can make time to sit and watch Corrie or Netflix. You will always make time. You only need half an hour, surely.
Absolutely. I agree with that. What I do with my clients is, yes, I exercise in the morning. That isn't the best for everyone, because some people, you know, you've got kids and you can't leave the house, or you mean you can't wake them up, or you've got, you know, and you start work really early. And that's not a problem. But like I say, morning workouts have been a massive thing for me over the years. And going back 25 years, I used to say I'm not a morning person. I used to be on the last minute, getting stuck in traffic, stressed every day. And I literally at that point made a thing where I said, I'm going to become a morning exerciser. And for the first month, it was difficult. I did everything. I put my suit in my car. I had all my stuff prepped, put my alarm clock at the other, before mobile phones. So my alarm clock at the other side of the room, did everything. And then a month in just over, it sort of clicked. But what I'd like to say is a lot of people, and particularly on social media, they say, they jump out of bed, feeling great, feeling, oh, it's dark and rainy, but I'm ready to fight there. I really feel like that. I really feel like that. And I don't think many people will. And I'm 100% certain people don't feel like that 365 days a year. But a technique I've used to build on this is I always just ask myself a question in my mind. First thing when I get up, I just say, right, take your mind 2 hours forward and ask a question. Will I feel better or worse?
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, the answer is yes. And that's what I focus on. I don't focus on it's cold, it's dark, my bed's comfy, I've got to get in the car, I've got to defrost the car, I've got to get all my stuff ready. I don't focus on that. I focus on how will I feel in 2 hours. And that for me has been massive.
I actually really like that visualization. And I think, you know, again, thinking about our audience, you know, we're not saying here that I'm not suggesting here that you get up at 4 a.m. if you've got to leave at 6 a.m. You know, what I'm saying is make that time and think about how you're going to feel after you've exercised. Because I don't know anybody, whatever your form of exercise, whether it's playing football, whether it's squash, whether it's swimming, whether it's horse riding, whatever it is that actually makes you move your body and builds up a sweat, basically, I dare anybody to tell me they don't feel better after they've done it. Absolutely. They're lying. You're lying. Because you do, because that's that's the hormones in your body. So I think that's the sort of key thing for me. What would you say, you know, if you were to have and I don't know whether you do have some kind of checklist for your clients, but what would you say the key components then to, I guess, setting the stall out to creating that healthy lifestyle for yourself? If we can generalize it.
Yeah. So I could talk about this for hours, but the first thing is to make it feasible. So many people go from doing nothing to saying, right, I've seen this on social media. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to work out 5 times a week. I need to join this fancy gym. I need to do HIIT. I need to do this. And they really just put all this on. And that can initially stop them from even starting. But even if they do start, it just becomes such a problem. Whereas my thought is, right, let's find what's feasible. If feasible is working out 3 times a week at home for half an hour, that's where we start.
That's where you start.
You mean a lot of people, yeah, but what's the best though? And I said, well, I could tell you what's the best to train as an Olympic athlete. But if that's not feasible around what you're doing, your career, work, your family, and it's not going to
not feasible.
You can manage it for a few weeks or months. At some point, it's going to hit where you go, why am I doing this? So my thought is making it feasible, making it work for you.
Okay.
And I'm not a coach that says, right, I'm the expert. This is how you do it. Yes, I can create a great plan, whatever your goals are. But if that plan isn't fit for you, if it's not realistic to you, if it's got exercise in there that's fill you with dread, that's not good.
No.
It's not good. People doing deadlifts, a great exercise. I've deadlifts for years. But some people have a real fear, and some coaches, well, if you do it right, there's no risk. Yeah, absolutely. But if that is something that someone's going into a workout every day, well, I hate this.
Absolutely agree.
Because at some point they'll drop off, and that's the excuse. Most people are looking for excuses, and with my programs, I always say there'll be challenges, but we're finding solutions. We're not finding excuses.
I like that.
Change, we'll do whatever. So that would probably be the biggest thing. Make it feasible. Don't jump in.
Feasible and fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Alliteration. Feasible, fun.
Yeah.
And fitness. There you go. There's true alliteration, isn't it?
Good.
Well, that's really, no, and I agree with you totally. And, you know, that's where if you're listening now, and obviously we do have a lot of people that are listening as leaders, you might be thinking of incorporating some kind of fitness. A lot of people do boot camps at lunch, or they do breakfast club workouts, that kind of thing. I do think that there's been a real shift certainly since COVID for employers when they're getting people back in the office, you know, whether it's hybrid or full time, to encourage that. You know, they understand that the presence everywhere of social media is that we want a healthy lifestyle. So what do you think employers could be doing or should be doing to encourage a healthy work environment and support healthy lifestyles?
Right. So, yeah, I have quite a strong view on this, which not everyone might agree with, but given my background of, like, say, a production manager, where at the time I had over 100 staff working for me, the quality assurance manager, the company I worked for then, they have progressed since, but they were not very well-being focused. I'm going to attack this from a fitness perspective. I do feel the mindset, mental health side is not separate, because they are most definitely linked, but a lot of companies sort of really address that. On the fitness side, there's no getting away from it. A lot of companies are becoming aware that, I mean, keep your employees happy, keep them healthy, keep them feeling good, enjoying work is a positive, and it will result in better for not just the people, the managers, the company, everyone benefits from it. And like I say, I do think a lot of companies are getting into this, and I feel they're putting a lot of resources, a lot of effort into it. Where I see it is, though, I think it can be done better. And a lot of the reason being, so for example, a lot of companies, they will put things on like a boot camp, a yoga class, a Pilates class, a keep fit class. They will give gym memberships or discount memberships, which I think are good to some level. The only problem with that is the people that they appeal to tend to be people who are usually already into fitness, or have the level of confidence. So if you're in and you've got 50 people, and the manager says, right, we're going to put a yoga class on. Probably the people who go, right, I'll jump on this, are the people who are going to yoga class, or going to the gym, and they want to go, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. The person who really needs it is probably the person who sat there going, I want to do it, but I can't do that. I can't do that in front of everyone. I'll get laughed at. Which is, you know, people shouldn't feel like that, but unfortunately people do. So I think, and the same with a gym membership. A company offers a gym membership to a person who's never done anything fitness based. They go to a gym first time, they look round, go, this isn't for me. To me, it's a good start, but it could be better. And
so how would you do it better? Like, what do you think it's a bit too contrived?
I think that is an angle that can play a part, but the other angle, and it's glad you mentioned, is something I cover. So I actually offer a corporate solution, which is sort of just my tailored online personal training. And rather than being a company journey that everyone's aware with, it's still a private journey.
It's private.
So the individual, so if a company says, right, we're going to offer the GymWolfPT corporate package, who wants to do it? Say the company of 50 and 20 people decide to do it. I am creating them a fitness plan that matches them, what their goals are, where they're at. The next person next to them probably needs a completely different plan. They might be at a higher level, lower level. They might have completely different goals. It's highly likely. And like I say, it's private. I'm not, you know, I do post things out on social media, but it's only when a client says, Ian, post it out. I'm not a person who's pushing to say, right, let's post it all out there. Most people want the journey to be private, because it is a private. They're doing it for themselves.
Well, it should be for yourself. If you're doing it purely for the sort of comparison photos, then you know that's absolutely fine. There's no judgment here, that's for sure. I'm glad you mentioned the online stuff, because I mean that's, you know, how I know you. How and why did you choose LinkedIn as one of your main sort of social media outlets? Because I'd say most of the people that I follow that are in your world don't have anything on LinkedIn. They're just not on LinkedIn at all. They're all on Insta or TikTok. So what's the reason? Was it a strategy that you designed, or was it by accident that you ended up on LinkedIn?
My age and my background. So I was already on LinkedIn from
your job?
All in the corporate. So I knew about LinkedIn mainly from recruiting and things like that. I wasn't posting on there, but I do have the other social media. That was my initial start when I started GymWolf. I had the LinkedIn presence from my company, but I built up 5 Instagram accounts. I built up 2 Facebook accounts, 2 Twitter accounts. I don't know why 2 and 5. That's the same. I spent a lot of time on Google My Business, that is now Google Maps, Pinterest, even TikTok I've spent time on. So I have got the other stuff, but for me, LinkedIn, I knew I could see the power of it, because it's real people on there. Fortunately, Instagram, as good as it is, and some of the other platforms, anyone can create 50 accounts quickly. And you just need to see the messages. A lot of them are on my post where it just says, send a picture to this, send a picture.
Oh God, it drives me insane.
And you
do
just
you get porn stars liking your stories? Because I do.
Yeah.
Who are they? They're bots. I know they're bots.
Yeah. And then a few weeks later, they've disappeared, and they're an invalid account because people, because LinkedIn's not quite that. Yes, people, if they really want to, can create fake accounts, but it takes
very hard. It's very hard to, especially if you're looking at things like endorsements. Their endorsements are from external people, so it's very hard to create. Occasionally there are awful like duplicates, and you can see the one that's the bot that's not. It's like a shutter photo, and they're not real people. It's very rare, but on Instagram it's constantly fake profiles, isn't it?
Yeah, what you see on LinkedIn, occasionally I'll get friend requests or whatever, and I look, and then they disappear a few days later because it doesn't work well on that platform, in my opinion. So LinkedIn, to me, it's real people.
I like that.
The tools that are on there, I find them great. There's brilliant people on there, people with all different views, and I just, it's not
an echo. You used the word before to me offline. It's not an echo chamber on LinkedIn, and I think that's what I love about it. Everyone that's listening now, you've probably come and found us via the link on LinkedIn. I do share on Instagram, but it tends to be more personal stuff on Instagram. I'm pretty much on there to do the doom scroll once a day, where I look at funny things of people hurting themselves, cute cats and dogs, possibly the odd recipe or football thing to do with Man City, and that's about it. I don't think I've ever generated business.
Fall out now. I'm Man United.
No, we're not going to fall out. My boyfriend's Man United. I just love football, so to be honest with you, it's fine. And he still can't get his head around that. I'll cheer United if they're playing another team. Apart from City, obviously. I've supported them since the early 90s when they were rubbish. So I'm not a glory seeker by any stretch of the imagination. Sorry, let me pause that. That is my daughter. I'll pause this. So Shannon, you need to pause this video now. She's such a monkey. She knows I'm recording today. She's obviously got a delivery or something. Right, back in the room, Shannon. So go back to social media. So Instagram. So LinkedIn, I think that, for me, it's a really powerful place. And I think I wanted to ask you about that because ultimately the people that are listening on this audience now need to understand the benefit of why LinkedIn is this incredible platform of community of diverse people that you can grow your brand on it, as you have done.
Absolutely. Again, the starting point of it was more looking for jobs, which is still obviously a big function of it. But now for me, I just see it as the business social media network. And yes, there's so much you can do. And it's always evolving as well, isn't it? It's changing all the time. The features are really thought out. They don't seem to just add them for no reason. It seems to be really trying to make that experience of the user better and better.
It is. The algorithm race is constant for us recruiters, let me tell you. And I'm sure every recruiter out there is nodding their head off because we don't really understand. But that's where I'm just like, I almost wobble my head. I'm like, just post what you want to post and the algorithm will figure it out for you. It is there to make the user experience better. And I guess to stop the people that maybe were abusing it, I've no idea. But I think it's wonderful what you're doing. And I hope people do click through to follow you and that we can find you on there and they can obviously have a look at your online program. And I think as we record this now, this will probably go live just as we're heading towards the end of the year, thinking about your goals for next year. I just think as you get older, make health your priority, because if you've got that as your pillar, everything else will fall into place.
Absolutely. And flipping that round, I don't want to sound negative, is when your health and your fitness is in a really bad place, nothing else really matters.
It just doesn't. It really doesn't.
Yeah. And I say to people, think of a boxer. They train for a number of weeks and months to be in the best position they can when they're in a fight. Usually people at some point, again, not being doom and gloom, but will face health challenges and fights themselves. So to be in the best position at that point is key. So
definitely. We're guys, we're in recruitment. It's a fast-paced, stressful job. Prioritizing your health once a day for yourself, your self-care, energizing yourself will make you a better recruiter. It's as simple as that. So I'm so happy you joined us in. It's been so lovely getting to know you, and we wish you all the very best. Thanks for joining us on the Recruiters Recruitment Podcast.
Thanks, Alicia.